Man, people are dicks. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so like I'm gonna be trying something a little new here. I'm just gonna be ranting a little bit, but I'm doing this on my phone while I walk around, so hopefully it's not too like dizzy and whatnot. But if it is, there'll be some gameplay footage here. So if that happens, you kind of know what you know what I did. Hopefully it'll be all good. But like I am just waking up, okay? And let me give you some context. I left a comment under a video that was not mine probably 2 to 3 weeks ago now. Like I only remember I watched this video because every few days I get a notification on my phone saying someone likes this, and that's cool, you know. The comment got a lot of likes. It was a video about like the current job market. Yeah, go figure. My age. Why is he looking into the job market? I don't know. But you know, I was looking into this, like the psychology about how people like hire. And how the current interviews are structured against you and how they've changed since back in the day. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting. So I left a comment where it was just something cheeky. It was like, as a former retail worker of like 7 years or 6 years, you know, this is giving me some serious PTSD, man. I look like Martin Sheen right now from Apocalypse Now. I'm just like, you know, that's it, man. It's just some bullshit. There's nothing else, man. Okay, and most people have had a lot of fun. They've been, you know, fucking with me in the comments. I've been fucking with them. It's really good. It's, you know, some nice... for something on the internet, it was very nice. It was a nice thread, man. And then, of course, you know, like all good things, it must be spoiled. And there's this one person who commented this morning, and it was the first thing I saw. Oh, no, that's not true. It was the second thing I saw. The first thing I saw was, oh shit, I have a grocery delivery outside. I should probably go get that. Fuck, overslept. So pull my lazy ass out of bed, and, you know, like, walk down there. And then I look at the YouTube comment, right? After I pull in my taquitos, and the comment was something along the lines of, oh, please, you don't know real, like, struggling or trauma. If you haven't had a gun held up to your face, if you haven't been mugged, if you haven't been abused by one or both parents, he had like a full list of this, like really dramatic. I'm reading, I was like, okay, so I start checking it off. I'm like, oh shit, I've got 3 out of 4, man. So I'm like, does that count? Am I still allowed to make this comment? No. It's just some person clearly took it way too seriously, right? And I'm not gonna get mad at something like that, because if they claim to have all the stuff that was happening to them, is that true? I don't fucking know. I don't think it matters, though. First, it was just a joke to have some fun, but secondly, you know, I don't know this person. If they have had all that stuff happen to them, whether they've had a worse or better life than me or anyone else, it doesn't matter. That sucks, man. I'm sorry they had to go through that. Why am I making this video, then? Well, I want to talk about, like, why do people, like, actually think it's okay to, it is okay. Why do people feel the need to go out of their way, leaving comments like that are so, like, it's clearly just a joke. Everyone's joking around. Everybody's fucking around. And you have one person that is sitting there, probably hunched over. This, like, really pissed them off, because this was not, like, a sentence or two, man. I had, like, a mini essay given to me, okay? I used to work in management. This reminded me of when I would read people's resumes. You know, it was structured, man. It wasn't just long words. It was structured. It was formats. There's different fonts. It was double-spaced. I was like, who the fuck does this on YouTube, man? It's a fucking comment. I don't even remember what I said. The only reason I had a vague idea of what the hell this guy was responding to was I've been getting these notifications for like 3 weeks now. People are like, I'm like, yes, I understand, thank you. In fact, I read his reply before I saw the actual comment, because I thought it was something under one of my videos, and I read the tone after the first sentence. I was like, the fuck did I make? Why did I get this, man? I make Resident Evil content mostly. I film shit and make Resident Evil content. What the fuck what is happening? And I look at the video, I'm like, oh, okay. Alrighty. That makes sense, man. I don't know, dude. I think some people, here's the thing, right? The internet has normalized this culture of just aggression, man. Like, you would never say something like that to someone in real life. And if you did, you'd be a fucking dick, because everyone would look at you and be like, what the fuck is your problem, man? It's a joke. You know? Like, seriously, dude, just chill, man. Everyone, though, is allowed to have an opinion. He's totally allowed to say this, or she, I don't know who it is. They're allowed to say this, okay? They're totally fine. I'm not gonna act like, oh, I'm so hurt right now. I'm fucking fine. I'm giggling like a fucking nut job. And I am currently waiting at the moment for, let me show you, my crappy breakfast. That's a budget breakfast right here. I'll make sure I actually get it in frame. Yeah, look at that. Toast with no butter and two patties of sausage. I actually have, dude, I do have nice food, okay? It's just, that is my white girl breakfast for today. There's something thrown together super quick with a glass of milk because I have shit to do and I woke up late. And now I'm making it worse because I'm making this video. But anyway, he's totally allowed to have his opinion, man. Or she, but they are allowed to have their fucking opinion. I don't care anymore. Jesus. Whoever it is, this person. But, you, just because you have a right to opinion, there's a catch, man. It doesn't mean your opinion is any more correct or incorrect than someone else's, right? You're allowed to voice it, just like people can say fuck you for it. I'm allowed to make a joke, someone is allowed to not like it. Clearly this person did not see the humor. They were like fucking offended. I was like, oh my god. Which is funny because I've said a lot of offensive shit. I'm like, really? This is what gets you, man. Look at my other shit, dude. I've said way worse. I said way worse in the last 20 minutes, man. But you're totally allowed to say it, but what I wanted to talk about is, why do people feel the need to go out of their way to put that kind of negativity out there? Well, it's, I'm not a psychologist, I should make this claim real quick, but I got a sister who's one, and I've had extreme, like, depression and anxiety for a good majority of my life. I didn't really start getting a handle on it until my early 20s a few years ago. What I learned, if you can say that, just me Googling shit and talking to her randomly, is there's this thing called law of attraction. And basically, it's a theory about what you put out into the world, you get back. That's not literal. If I throw my delicious breakfast of frozen sausage patties that I think I burnt into the wilderness, I'm not gonna wake up tomorrow with like 80 sausage patties there for me. Though that'd be fucking awesome. What it means is basically, if you get what you give, man. If you hold a lot of that crap in you, if you have a lot of anger and you put it out there, people are gonna find you a confrontational person. If you have a lot of joy and happiness, people are gonna find you a very pleasant person, and so on and so forth. If you're really depressed, if you're expecting bad results, the odds of it happening are going to increase, because subconsciously, you, without meaning to, are working towards that goal. So if you're like, oh my god, the world is horrible, I'm not gonna get this job that I desperately need, I'm gonna be fucking homeless if I don't get my bills paid, that's like a fact. Well, you're gonna go into that job interview and you're gonna be like, you know, like really fucking depressed, man. You're gonna sit there, you know, completely stone-faced, not smiling, not happy. I mean, it's not gonna happen, you know? I've worked in the food industry and retail before. That's right. I had fucking both back to back. You know, that's why I'm laughing so much right now. You have to. You gotta laugh to turn away the pain, man. But honestly, though, in all seriousness, every day I would work in there, food or retail, right? If I had a pissy attitude, not only would my day be that much harder, but the people around me fucking hated me. When I started working at retail, I started in the grocery department. Amongst people, the closest to anyone being new was there's a guy who'd only worked there for a year. Everyone else had been there, young or old, had been there for at least like 3 years. Some of them had been there for 7. I think the average was like 5 or 6. One dude had been there for like 20-something years, man. He was like former military, former police officer, former grocery manager, now a clerk. So, you know, whee! He was a sweet guy. I feel bad for saying that. But, you know, I was the new guy. So basically, if someone's going to get promoted, it's not going to be me. But it was. I was actually the next guy promoted. I was promoted within 6 months over people who had been there for fucking 2, 3 years, 7 years, 25 years. And most of them were really okay with it. You think, oh my god, they were really mad at you, right? They were a little confused for like 2 seconds. But I had an upbeat attitude. I worked my ass off. Even when I got there, I didn't know what I was doing. I was the one who would volunteer to stay late. Every day I would get there. I was the first person there. I would show up 40 minutes early to work. And I would stay at least 2 hours every night. Everyone else would leave. And I would be there in the early AMs. Like, I would get home literally, like, around that time, the average was, like, I think 1 to 2 a.m. But there are nights where I'd get home 3 or 4 a.m. I would literally stay, like, if I was scheduled at that point, like, 3 days a week, let's say I was 24 hours, I would literally work, like, almost 40 hours a week. I would just be there the entire fucking time. And they liked that. You know, I had an upbeat personality. I came in, even though I sucked, and I was fucking bad. I was super over the moon, which I actually wasn't. I was just faking it. But I was in a really bad situation at that time. I just needed to get out of the house. It was, you know, that list we were talking about earlier that guy made. It was like 3 out of 4. That was number 2 on that list. And, you know, I worked my ass off. And it was the same when I worked in the food industry. You know, it was my first job. And then within a year, they were looking at me to be the assistant store manager of the restaurant. And I was, I think, 19 or 20 at that time. And I quit like 4 months later. That was fucking hilarious. But cause they paid me fucking terrible, man. my promotion from regular fucking like staff member to assistant store manager was 25 cents. I'm like, yeah, no, to $8.25, I'm gonna die. You know, I gotta go, man. So I went to retail, and even over there, I was like a $5 increase. Like for just a regular grocery clerk, man. There's a reason I was like, I'm not complaining, dude. I'm good. But yeah, man. Like I had a good attitude, and it brought people in. They just liked having me around. That knowing when I came in, they were like, oh, something bad's gonna happen. Everyone else would just bitch and moan, and I was like, yeah, man, let's do it. Now, it wasn't fake. I wasn't thrilled about it, and that's why I got along with the people around me. It's because I wasn't like, oh boy, what a great day. I was like, no, this sucks, but if I bitch about it now, and if someone asked me, I'd explain it. If I'm going to bitch about it now, it's just going to make it worse. We're just going to get out late, you know? I'll bitch about it afterwards, you know, when I'm walking home at 4 a.m. cursing, my fucking legs are sore. I have shit to do. I was writing a book at that time. I was trying to start my filmmaking career. The fuck, man? I'm screwed. But at the end of the day, bitching about it's not going to help. Maybe afterwards, figure out why it happened and try to not make it happen again. But in the moment, nah, it's not gonna help. So you just go, man. You just fucking go and you ignore it. That's law of attraction, man. It's what you get what you give. Yeah, it was a bad situation, but I moved up quicker than any of the people around me, even though they were, I think in some cases, just as good, if not better, than me. The big thing I was you know, I was new to retail, so my soul had not been crushed yet. But I was not physically better than anyone. I just had a lot of energy and a lot of optimism. But sometimes that's all people want to see, man. They just like that. If you have someone around you who's constantly pissed off or upset, you don't want to be around them. You know, I've got people around me, friends and family members who suffer from the same kind of depression I did, if not worse. And it's hard some days to deal with that. Cause you're like, fuck, really, man? What are you mad about now? You know, what's horrible now? I don't fucking know. But you gotta have that empathy. And the internet really has built it in such a way that's normalized to not have empathy. It's just about, well, I need to state my opinion because this is my safe space. There's no such thing as a safe space on the internet, man. You can put child safety mode on, but children still get ads for explicit things. Children can still see horrible things if they turn that mode off, or if they go into a different profile, or if you accidentally leave it off for them. There's no such thing, dude. And a comment, yeah, it's your comment. You can put your words out there, but just because it's higher on the actual totem pole when you leave it, it's the more recent comment, doesn't invalidate the others. And that goes for mine too, and this person's opinion. But think about it from their perspective, from their side of the screen, man. We've normalized it to go, in this scenario, I think I'm probably in the one in the right. I don't want to be egotistical about that, but you'd be like, oh, well, you know, they're dickheads. So he's correct. You know, he was just trying to make someone laugh. I thought there was someone at the door. I was like, the fuck was that? I think it was just a bird hit the wall. But, yeah, you could probably look at it and go, oh, he was just making a joke. This person's taking it too seriously. Fuck you. But no, it's not fuck you, man. It's really not. It's just their opinion from behind the glass. Think about how, if they left that comment, think about how fucking terrible their day must be going right now. Or in the past has been. And that's if we completely disregard what they actually put in that comment. Allegedly, they've been abused by both family members, I'm guessing their parents, held at gunpoint, mugged. I mean, all this horrible shit has happened to them just because I don't like their comment, or I've been through similar things. Doesn't invalidate their opinion, just like their opinion doesn't invalidate mine. At the end of the day, it was meant to be funny. I think it's funny. Most people seem to think it was funny. They did not. That's okay. So I replied to them, basically, I'm sorry you had to go through that, man. I'm sorry. I hope you're in a better spot now. And I hope things go better than you. Or, if you're not, I hope we get a purge going, man. Viva la revolution. Let's get it on. But, no, seriously, though. That's law of attraction, dude. I think about it. Everyone is... It stems back right now. Why a lot of these hateful comments. It's the same reason why people, when you go into just a out of nowhere metaphor, a grocery store or a food restaurant. Good job, Brain. That was so clever. Fucking idiot. Like, it's when you get someone who goes into a restaurant and they're rude as shit. Everyone has had it happen to them, even if you don't work there. You could see it. You know, I would have people coming up. Let me tell you this story real quick. My first week of my first job at that restaurant I was talking about earlier. Okay, I think it was like day 3. This old lady who comes in. I didn't know her. As it turns out, she was the regular. And she came in, okay? And I was super nervous, okay? Like, I was young. Not a great home situation at the time. I needed that job. It was my first job. I didn't want to screw it up. And I was behind the counter, and it was just me there that day. My coworkers were out doing, like, deliveries, or we didn't have too many coworkers, so, you know. I think the most I ever had at once was, like, 3. And, it was, like, a real small mom-and-pop shop, you know, not, like, some, fancy place or anything like that. And this lady comes in. She makes her order. I take her order. I'm very polite, very friendly. And I'm counting her change, because she hands me, like, 20 fucking bucks or something. I can't remember what it was. But I had a lot of change, okay? Like, I was thinking of it. When she handed me the bill, I was like, oh, please let that be a 5, you know? So, it was not. And I wanted to make sure I gave her the correct change. So what I would do is I would take the bills out and the money, and I would set them down on the counter on my side, and I would lay it down and go, like, out loud, say 5, 10. That way she would know this is the correct change. She could count it herself. I would give her that second before, you know, shooing her away and be like, you know, fuck off. That way she can be good and make sure I didn't mess up and accidentally give her something wrong. And she can go, oh, okay, cool. This is really sweet. Thank you. So I'm sitting there counting it, just like I have done for every person at that point. And I have done, this is key, I did that every day afterwards. Okay? Every day afterwards at that job, which I worked at for, I think 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. Okay? This lady freaks the fuck out at me, man. She starts going off. Why don't you know how to count? How old are you? I mean, she reams me, and it's loud, dude. She reams me loud in the middle of the fucking quiet ass. It was quiet at that point, man. Restaurant, okay? The owner, who is my boss, she's standing, like, fucking behind me. Her husband was the main chef. He's looking over. I found out later they knew who this lady was, so I didn't say shit. They're like, oh, he's in the right. But yeah, she reams me, okay? And she goes, and then she stomps off. We give her food, and she heads outside for a moment. I'll be back. She went out and I think grabbed some pills or something. I don't know. I hope to God it was life support, man. But she heads out for 2 seconds, okay? And I'm sitting there, like, completely red-faced, completely embarrassed. And I'm just telling myself, like, dude, you did exactly right. Don't sweat it. You know, she's probably just having a bad day, man. Let's move on, okay? But you gotta remember that time. I hadn't kicked my depression yet, okay? You're talking to someone who in the past has had, like, really, like, bad inclinations. I won't say what, because YouTube will take this video down if I do. But you can imagine what I was thinking about doing when I was younger, if I can't say it on YouTube. You know, I had a really bad impression of myself at that point. Like, I actually hated how I looked. I couldn't look into mirrors for probably 5 years, because I hated how much I looked. So I'm sitting there completely, like, really scrawny. I was only a few pounds above, like, anorexia at that point. I was very thin. I'm already, like, I'm still thin as hell, man. But, like, I was like a twig, okay? Very pale, big twig, just sitting there. I'm a short dude. I'm, like, 5'5" or 5'6", so I'm, like, I hunch over, dude. I'm, like, 5'3" or 4", you know? I'm, like, really trying to just disappear. And then I had a line of customers come up to me. This is day 3, okay? I think it was 6 people, because I remember counting, okay? And all of them lined up, and I'm thinking, fuck! You know, I just got reamed out, and now you all are gonna go on. I'm like, I already gave you your food, man! I don't need it. Come on, dude. I'm thinking, like, I have to take how many orders? Dude, that sucks, man. And they come up, and all of them said to me, don't listen to her, young man. You were in the correct. You handled that so well. I don't know what her problem is, but you did nothing wrong. And all of them said that to me, and I was so touched, because it's exactly the opposite of what you'd expect from a restaurant experience, especially one such as ours, where it wasn't super classy. Like, I wasn't walking in with like a, you know, like a button-up uniform, you know, cloth around my waist. I wasn't looking fancy. I came in, our uniforms were a shirt and a ball cap. You know, the pants I had to supply, man. I had to darken in with a Sharpie the hole I had in it, okay? All right? And they were so sweet, man. They were so sweet and so wonderful. Now, here's the funny thing about that story, okay? That lady was the regular, okay? She came in far too often, man. Like, you had to have her ready, prepped. It got to a point that whenever I would train the new guys, when they would come in, I would tell her when she's coming, or tell them when she's coming, and I'd be like, you see this lady right here? She's gonna be rude as shit. Don't take it personally. This is how she is to everyone. Here's the bigger twist, okay? Obviously I saw her a few times going forward. I saw her at least once a week for 2.5 years. No, nearly 2.5 years straight, okay? She loved me. I became her favorite person. She preferred me preparing her food because no one else in her words could get it correct. Which sucked because I was front of house. What the fuck, man? Why am I in the back now making your shit? But she loved me to death. She would check on me constantly. She would ask me how I was doing. She was constantly, oh, you're so wonderful. He's the best worker here. He's so respectful. I've never heard a word of lip from him. He's so polite. He's hardworking as hell. He never bitches. You can see him. All of them knew it because any of our regulars would know when my shift ends and why am I still there 2 hours later. You know, my shift would end, let's say, I don't know, like 5 o'clock. I'd be there at like 7 or 8, man. I mean, we'd be getting ready to close down. I'm like, the fuck, dude? And I was still there, you know, chopping onions in the back. Again, I was front of the house. I did everything, man. I was like all over the place. And she loved me. She loved me to death. I always hated her. I thought she was rude as fuck. She was rude to me. She was rude to other customers. She was constantly shoving people. But she liked me. Well, then she got really close with the owner, right? This lovely lady. And she for some reason, I think she used to do like taxes, like she was a tax accountant. I'm like, oh, that explains it. But anyways, she helps the owner with her taxes. She doesn't help her correctly. Apparently she didn't know what the fuck she was doing. Completely screwed her. Got the owner into a huge amount of trouble with the IRS. I mean, it was really fucking bad. So she got banned from the restaurant. You know, this horrible, rude person ended up getting fucking thrown out, essentially. I watched it happen, okay, which was so cool because she was good friends with the owner, right? Except I was buddies with the owner's husband. Like, he was the head chef, and it was mostly just me and him back there, okay? So we would talk shit about her constantly. When that happened, he turned around, this lovely Indian gentleman, okay, who's normally a bit more introverted like me. He turned around, gave me a big high five, said, yeah, and I said, fuck yeah, bro! We were so happy, man. Dude, I remember the day I quit, he actually called me when I left after my final shift. Like 20, 30 minutes later, and we were just talking shit, dude. I was like, I don't work there anymore, man. He's like, dude, I know. I just want to talk shit with you one more time. I was like, okay. He was cool as hell, man. He was very friendly. But you see, if I had put it out back there, if I had clapped back at her, I didn't know she was the owner's friend. It's rude to a customer, and all those people who came up afterwards, they might have turned on me. They'd been like, what was he doing to that sweet old lady? and then the world would never have known. Well, instead, she outed herself, man. I don't know what she was going through, but I'm guessing she never showed up with any friends or any family members. She didn't have a wedding ring on, and she was a bit older. I can't imagine what she was going through. She's probably a bit lonely. And I'm like, you know what, dude? You get what you give. I'm not going to judge her for it, but she gave herself that, you know? She outstretched herself, and it didn't go so well. And I hope she's doing better now. But that's kind of what the internet is like on a whole, man. Everyone's kind of like that now. You put out a lot of anger, dude. There's so much anger, and if someone's rude to you, you gotta clap back. You know, you gotta ream them. You gotta go after. And I've seen it. I've been doing YouTube for probably, let's see, it's the end of March, so 2.5 months. I think I really got into it like mid-January or something. And I've been doing it on and off before that, but that's where it got really serious. I was putting videos out almost daily. None of you bastards watched it, but they're there. I was doing it like pretty frequently. Full-length videos, shorts, and most of the comments have been super lovely. But I have a very black sense of humor, and I've gotten a few questions like, "How is that funny?" And I'm like, "Well, apparently it wasn't. That's your answer, man." And I usually just apologize. I'm like, "Hey, man, it's just a bit of nonsense. Everyone has a little bit. It was meant to for everyone to have a little bit of fun. That's all." And everyone has been like, "Oh, that's totally cool. I get it," you know. And sometimes on a good day, someone will think it's really funny, and that's great. You know, that's awesome. But it's not for everyone, man, and that's okay. But even just on my little channel, which at this time I have 29 subscribers, I'm close to 30. That's gonna be our first milestone. Woo! 30 people. I'm pretty sure some of them are family. Give a shit about what I have to say. But even on my small ass channel, which I haven't had a short that's gone over 2,000 views. My most highly viewed full-length video I put out, I think about a week ago, and today it hit 85 views, okay? Not 100, not 100, but 85. This video probably will get like 12. You know, the last one of these I made, because this is the only type of like vlog shit I've ever done, I think got like, I'm being generous, man. I think it got like 12 views. I was probably 2, but you know, it's not gonna get that much. That's okay. You know, I'm doing this mostly for me, just to kind of get it out. And if someone sees it and it helps them, fuck yeah, man, that's awesome. This is mostly just for me, just to have a little bit of fun on my, if you can call it, journey into being a filmmaker. Because now I left retail, I left that food industry, and I get to do this full time. It's terrifying. You can see my breakfast as evidence. But yeah, this is me trying to put it out there, trying to actually push myself forward, and for the first time in my life, bet on myself. I've never done that before. And it's really scary, and it's really freaky, and I don't know what I'm doing, but it's awesome. I haven't had this much fun, ever. It's great. But not everyone is going through that right now. Some people are really upset, some people are miserable, and though most have a lot of fun, not everyone does. Some people get really upset, man. They get antsy. And we give it back to them, you know? Say, "Oh, your life sucks today? Fuck you, man, it's just a joke, shut up." No, it shouldn't be like that, dude. It shouldn't be like that at all. Some people do. If you're wondering what I'm doing every time I kind of lean down like that, my computer is trying to shut off, because I'm meant to watch a video right now. It's got, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. I've got a Berserk video up from 97. I'm just trying to get it up there, man. And it keeps shutting off because I forget. My screen shuts down after like 3 minutes of not touching it. I have to keep going over. Fuck, this is supposed to be a 3-minute video, man. We're almost at 30 minutes now. But yeah, that's just what I want to talk about for a quick second. Just law of attraction, man. Law of attraction. You don't get taught that in school, but it really stems back to everything. People who are rude in stores. People who are stressed out about the fact that, like, oh my god, I might not be able to afford my groceries this month. God forbid you have kids. You know, I've got younger siblings, and that's scary as shit. You know, I mean, fuck my step siblings. You know, their family's loaded, so screw them. But you know, me and my sister, man, we've gone through it. No. But like, seriously, dude, everyone's struggling right now. You have a crappy job. You're getting pushed down in an environment you don't want to go to. School is more concerned about giving you grades than actual preparations. You know, they don't teach you taxes or how to drive a car. They used to. There are classes like that that I'm very confused why they stopped. I feel like that should be mandatory, you know? 16, driver's ed, boom. Taxes should be a class every senior has to take, I think. I had to teach myself how to pay taxes. You know, my parents at the time did not want to show me anything. One of them was not present to physically teach me. I don't know where the fuck he is. I haven't seen him in a decade. Oh, no, I haven't seen him in 2 decades. Almost 2 decades. Wow. It's been a minute. But the other one was present. They didn't want to help. So I had to teach myself how to do that. Otherwise, I go to jail for fraud. That was fun. But, you know, everyone's got shit they're going through right now. There's a lot of misery going on, and I think it's palpable. I think we can feel it amongst each other. That's why being optimistic is so important right now. You can look at any industry. Obviously, I'm a filmmaker, so I get pissed off about the film industry right now. I have gone on so many rants about the cinematography. This is a true story. My sister showed me one clip of the new Percy Jackson show, which growing up, that was my favorite book series. It still is. I don't care, it's for kids. I fucking love it. Okay, I saw a 2-second clip, I think from the new season. Yeah, it was from the Sea of Monsters. It was Clarice and her dad, Ares, alongside undead soldiers by a dock. They're getting ready to ship off, right? That was 6 o'clock, 6:30, 8:47 p.m. That's when I stopped my rant on the cinematography. I was so upset. I was going on, and she was laughing her ass off, man. I was just so like, fuck, this is terrible, man. Why does it look like that? Why is it color gray, man? I wasn't even mad about, like, the makeup and stuff. I was just pissed off about, like, the actual effects. It's like, oh, I got beef with Disney cameras, man. I'm watching the new season of Daredevil right now, and their cameras keep blurring out the background. I'm like, stop it. Stop it. It's bad, Disney. Don't do it. If I was on a Disney production, I would push one of them cameras over, man. Like, we're gonna have to use my phone. Sorry. My phone don't have good quality, but it's got a lot better than that. Check it out. There's a background there. On a Disney camera, that shit blurs. Rant over. But, the point is, everybody's got something to be mad about. Even if it's something as trivial as cinematography. I'm doing pretty well if I can rant for 2 hours about Percy fucking Jackson. A Disney Plus show that, while it has its fans, not exactly the most popular show on the planet right now. WandaVision or The Mandalorian. This is not. Why am I bullying the little guy? I wouldn't say he's a little guy. He's got like a full production, but it's bigger than me. But you know why you got to bring them down? It's okay to criticize, man. It's okay to talk about things you don't like, and it's fine to go a little bit over the top with it. Yeah, it's fun. I don't really feel that much hatred, a little bit, but it's okay to have that opinion. But when you constantly hold on to it, when there's real anger and hatred back there, I mean, you put it out. And that's what people get, and it makes them miserable, man. I mean, look around. Look how, like, miserable everyone seems to be. I'm very optimistic, though. I actually think we're on the beginning of a new kind of renaissance period. It's something I've felt for a few years now, specifically in the film industry, and I'm seeing it more and more with people around me in relation to things like economics, politics, education, whatever. We're clearly beginning to notice something's not working. That's why I'm so optimistic about the younger generations. Yeah, they look kind of dumb right now, but dude, so did we. You know, like, grew up the common hairstyle, like all this spiky shit, man. Like, that's what I remember growing up, like spiky hairstyles. Like, if you've seen the first James Gunn Scooby-Doo movie, when they go out to Spooky Island and you see the people out there just kind of chilling on the beach. That's what people looked like when I was growing up, man. That's what I remember. I remember as a kid thinking, they look hideous. Why do they do that to themselves? Their hair looks terrible. Now I'm nostalgic for it. I miss it. Good vibes, man. Good memories. But, you know, we all looked fucking dumb growing up. Look at a picture of kids from the 50s. They look like fucking little dolls. Look at kids from the 80s. They look like it's the 80s, the coquettes. You know? That's okay, though, man. That's totally fine. We all look like fucking morons. It doesn't mean we don't have any merit or anything like that. I'm personally really optimistic. I think it's going to be really cool and really phenomenal. And there's something really special that's going to happen in a few years. It's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. But I'm very enthusiastic about where we are as a people. Obviously, I'm in America, but you can mean broader, you know. If it's on our shoulders to change things, us as a people, whether it be young or old, I'm willing to bet on us. I think it's going to go well. But that's what I'm trying to put out. That's what I'm trying to get back. You know, it's a genuine belief, but I very much would rather believe in that as opposed to some people I know who get very closed off and go, this is the end. I've literally had someone tell me, not as a joke, but completely feel like they're being honest. They told me last night, this is the end of times. This is the end. I'm going to die soon. I can't get a job. So I'm like, how bad of a life space? And I know what they're going through. They're going through some shit. How bad do you have to be in that headspace, man? That's terrible, dude. That's awful. I'm not gonna do that, man. I've been in that spot before. It sucked. It was the worst time of my life. I'm good. I'm gonna choose to face it with a smile. But that's where this rant came from, was one little comment that it stuck out to me. Not because it was highly offensive. I would argue maybe a little misguided. I don't really understand what the point of the comment was. If it was to lecture, the point clearly didn't get across. And even if so, I think there are better ways to convince someone. I used to be in management, and if I talked to anyone that way of any age, they would not listen to me. But instead, I was a kid in my early 20s when I got into management who had people twice and sometimes 3 times my age, and I had that respect. And they would listen to me. That if I said, hey, do this, they would jump and go running. I personally believe that's a better philosophy to go about. Just treat people with kindness, try to be happy. But that's just an opinion, man. That's just what I'm trying to put out. But seeing that comment, it made me think, like, this isn't that bad. But look at how unnecessary it is. Yes, it's your opinion, but does it need to be said, you know? Yeah, it can be. If you feel the need to get it out and it helps you move about your day, go for it. But I would rather not bring someone, or try to bring someone else down, just to make me feel better. That's what I'm trying to put out. But yeah, I think this whole video was just a lie because I wanted to talk about law of attraction, or because I needed my sausage to get cool. I think it's cold now. It's probably bad. Oh man, that bread's gonna be dry. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna sign off now, or punch off. I hate doing intros and outros. If you see my videos, most of the time I try not to talk like that. I just try to get into it because I suck at it. But yeah, if you're new here, hi, I'm Chris. This is my channel. It's called American Paint Job. This is like the most monotone advertisement ever. I mostly do a lot of like funny videos, like, well, I think they're funny, video game stuff, and I make films. I just put out a Silent Hill short film. It's called Lead to Ness. If you don't know what that means, just spell it backwards. You'll figure it out, hopefully. But yeah, you know, I make mostly like Resident Evil videos. I just did a lot of Requiem videos for that new game, if you're interested in that. Just a lot of funny bits. Most of the time I'm a writer and a filmmaker. I've put out 7 books, 8 books, something like that. I'm working on another right now called Park Avenue Lane. I'm really excited for you all to see it. And I'm working on a short film called it's called A Plea for Violence, which now I'm realizing this is probably not the best point to bring that up in this video. Talking about law of attraction. But it's a comedy, believe it or not. It's very funny and lighthearted and works out. Just check it out if you want. I can't defend that title. But yeah, I'm doing that, and I'm going to be doing a Requiem, Resident Evil Requiem Insanity Mode run. I'm terrible at games, so that should be pretty funny. But if you're interested in that, you know, stick around, have some fun, subscribe for the paint job. Thank you guys for watching, man. If you're at the end, I mean, you probably don't have anything better to do, but thank you so much for sticking around for my rambly thoughts. I had so much fun doing this. No, I really do. I always appreciate all of your times, man. That's why I try not to end with saying subscribe. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate each and every one of you, my 29 loyal friends. All right.